Hi, film addicts. Welcome to the show. Today we have a very special guest. He is an award winning writer, director, and producer, Brian Vaughan from Spirit Writer Productions. And he is live today, all the way from Queensland, Australia. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Thank you, Marilyn. Thanks for having me here. I love your show, and I'm a film addict now.
Yeah, Brian, so I heard you've been very busy. Have you been working on anything?
Yes, at present, I'm a producer for a short film called Given by Darren Marshall from the Gold Coast. I do have a few features we're trying to do, as everybody else is. It's like hurry up and wait with COVID.
Yeah, and this is, you said it's based on a World War II, where the officer is having flashbacks, right?
Yes, that's correct. It's sort of like this guy's been shell shocked from what happened to him on the ship during the Second World War, and as soon as he gets onto the ship, he remembers everything.
It sounds like an amazing story. So, yeah, well, certainly look forward to that. And when you were a young kid growing up, what was your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie? I reckon it'd be Red River with John Wayne, Walter Brennan, and Montgomery Clift. And they actually used scenes from this film, John Wayne's last film, The Shooters. So many great cowboy stars in it: Noah Beery Jr., Harry Carey Jr. And you don't find movie characters like this anymore.
That was an amazing film. Yes, John Wayne was he just had that. He embodied that a real character in a western, and just so many great actors. Yeah, those films were just priceless, and just stay in your mind as the very best of the classics. So also the film that you love from Criterion Collection that had an impact on you as a producer.
That'd be John Wayne in Stagecoach. I'm a big fan of John Ford and would love to do a western. John Ford directed this, and if you could find like I said, he directed this, and if you could find a western painting, then this would be it. It's the acting, the drama. It showed the Wild West as it was.
Yeah, that definitely brought you to the Wild West on that movie. It was just really amazing cinematography and just the characters. It just really brought you back to that point in time. So, I heard that one of your favorite directors is Quentin Tarantino.
Yes, I love Quentin Tarantino, and the scene where they show the woman tied in the boot of the car in Dusk Till Dawn. That's just such an amazing thing. I try and watch films of directors that I like, and I don't copy their style, but I just merge them in with my styles. But Robert Rodriguez from El Mariachi has a style I do like, and the scene where Steve Buscemi is telling the story of the mariachi, that has to be a classic.
Those are some great directors, and those are truly some excellent film shots to tell that story, especially like you said, the woman was tied in the boot of the car. That moment, you just knew everything that was going on. And then yeah,
that's right. You just felt, there's going to be trouble now.
Yeah, you don't have to say much, but just films, like it's sound and picture, and that scene was priceless. And I do like when you were talking about Robert Rodriguez from El Mariachi, with Steve Buscemi, his telling the story on the mariachi. That was an amazing scene. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was.
So, one of your favorite actors is Robert De Niro, right?
Oh man, I love Robert De Niro. He's got so much class. I saw him in this new movie, War with Grandpa, and he's just one of the tops. Huh?
Yeah, and what's your favorite line from Heat?
Well, favorite line, it's don't let yourself get attached to anything you are not willing to walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you can feel the heat come around the corner. Or there's Brian, my quote, Brian Vaughan, It's directed like you stole it.
I love that. And I think a lot of indie filmmakers can relate to that because when you're doing indie films, we don't have permits and money, and like you're shooting, you're like, don't put the stick on the ground, hurry up and get the shot before someone sees us or a cop comes. Yeah, so direct it like you stole it. That's amazing quote. I love that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And yeah, Robert De Niro, I mean, he plays everything from, the cab driver to the comedy, with the Faulkners to just incredible films, incredible characters. He is a chameleon and truly a gifted actor. So yes. And he's Italian, as I'm Italian, so we always love our Italian actors.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Italian food, carbonara,
Oh yes, the pasta. People think that there's not. You know what? If you can there's carb substitutes now. You can get spinach pasta. You can get seaweed pasta. You can get cauliflower pasta. But when you really crave a good homemade comfort food, there's nothing like all carbs in pasta with the marinara sauce. Yes, that's the best.
I think I'm going to have knock off now and have something to eat.
Yeah.
Hungry.
Yeah. So how did you start? How did you start in films? How did you start? You were doing short films or?
Yeah, I did. A friend of mine asked me to write a script for him, and I did it. I had no idea what I was doing, but we had Village Roadshow Studios in Brisbane, Queensland. They gave us an option. They never took us up on it. But I did this short film, and it was called Swallow's Nest. I did it with my friend, and when I was talking, he had the camera, and when he was talking, I had the camera.
Oh, wow.
I played a mental patient. Yeah.
So you guys took turns holding the camera and filming. Yep, that's how you start. You start by starting.
Yeah,
and then your character,
that's right.
You played a mental patient, and this was your short film called Swallow's Nest. So,
yes, actually, there's a place over in Europe. It's a place for mental patients called Swallow's Nest. It's up in the mountains. And a swallow's nest is supposed to be a safe place for these people, so I called it Swallow's Nest. And I had this scene when my character, the patient, was a schizophrenic, but he knew when things were going to happen, So he thought he had ESP. So when my mate was reading out his lines, he was so slow, and I said to him, "Is that right?" And I got a bit frustrated, and we used that in the film, and it just looked so good.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, the gems on camera, like using everything that's working for you, you're really frustrated, and then that picks up on the camera. So, yeah, and the other short film you did was called Big Pileta. Mentioned.
Yes, that's right. Big Mountain. That's Pidgin English for Big Mountain, and it was based on my script Taboo of Bougainville, set in 1972. My dad was a key up in New Guinea for about 8 years after World War II. That's a cross between a policeman and a magistrate. And so I did this story, and I put what he told me, I put a lot of stuff into it. And it's sort of like a boy's own film. I'm really, there's something I really want to do.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. So, and once again, the name of it, how do you say it?
Big Pella Mountain.
Big Pella Mountain.
Very hard to say. It's even harder to write.
Yeah. So, and it was based on the taboo of Bougainville. Okay, great.
Yeah, that's right. Bougainville. That's an island in Papua New Guinea.
Oh wow. And then, so you were directing a short film called The Rarity. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I directed this film in 2011. The first AD was getting upset because he came up to me and he said, "We're shooting this scene now, and do you want to talk to the actors?" I said, "No, they know what to do." And then another time he comes up and he says, "Ask me if I like the scene and I like what the character was doing." I said, "Yes," but I said she needs to pout, and the AD said, does she know what you mean? I said, yes. So he went over and talked to this actress. She gave a thumbs up. I sort of felt vindicated after that. So, and a couple of the actresses called me Mr. B, and this still happens to this day. I love it. It's sort of like endearing, that they think of you that way.
Yeah. So Mr. B, shall we say, our fabulous director, was true to his craft, and the actors love working with a great director. So congratulations for getting that title. I love that. And then so you've been at home with COVID like all the rest of us, and some of us we can't make our films or our shorts or be working on our crafts. So I heard that you do a lot of paintings.
Yeah, I've done a lot of painting. Done about 12 paintings so far, and at the moment I'm just doing a lot of watching television. I'm really into this Yellowstone on DVD, and I'm hooked on The Nanny again. So.
So the Fran Drescher one, that's a great sitcom. Yeah, and so and you've been doing a lot of reading, and I understand Louis L'Amour is one of your favorite Western writers.
Yeah, I love horror, and Louis L'Amour was one of the world's greatest Western writers. If he said something was in a story, you can bet your life that place is out there in real life, because he lived the life of the cowboy, and he just epitomised what he wrote was out there and real. But like I said, I do love my horror films, and with The Nanny, I'm just so hooked with her again. Fran Drescher.
And of course, a Western lover will love the Yellowstone TV series. It's a great TV series. I really like it too. And you have horses, right? You have horses, right?
Well, I used to, but I used to ride bulls and rodeos before I found out I couldn't run fast anymore. But I'm looking at the moment. Yeah, it's really hard to run backwards when you get the spurs digging in the dirt, like, hello. But I am looking at buying a little quarter horse mare or a little quarter horse colt and get back into riding again.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. And I understand your paintings are so well loved that you're getting offers and people want to buy them.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, they do. They do like it, but it's really hard to sell a painting that you've spent so many hours on. Even if you only spend 15 minutes on it and they offer you $100, you're still going to go, no, I sort of like this. Maybe the next one.
You're like, oh, catch you next year. Yeah. So where can the film addicts see what you're doing next? I understand you're doing a fantastic project coming up next.
Yeah. Well, hopefully in March we'll be doing my Blood of the Wolf film in New Mexico, Cameron Studios. I wrote the script in 2006. It's by the book's by Professor Jeffrey Godin from Indiana. He's a professor, and I've watched a lot of horror films, werewolf films, and this one is really different. You won't the beginning of it and the end. You just would not see that coming. Yeah. I wrote the script and I couldn't even see it coming.
Oh wow! So that's really exciting. Yeah. The Blood of the Wolf film. It sounds like it's a winner, and I know our audience is going to love it and want to go see it. So do stay on the lookout for that. And then so Film Addicts, you can find out more about Brian and what he's doing on his website at spiritwriterproductions.com. That's www.spiritwriterproductions.com. Brian, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast with us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Marilyn. It was a real pleasure. And I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes. And Film Addicts, thank you for tuning in. I want to wish you a healthy and happy new year. And until next week, stay healthy, my friends.